Hello everyone, welcome back. I'm playing Resident Evil 7 here, and today I'm going to be doing the second tape of the banned footage volume 1, which is Bedroom. Now this one I think is the best one of the two currently, because I definitely like it. It's very strategic. It's not like the rest of the game where you have to like scavenge supplies to fight monsters. You're really just solving one big puzzle. And I like it. It's a change of pace. And the other tape is actually like a horde mode, which is also pretty cool. So it's two very different themes here. Now, I did already beat this, so this is if you want to find out how to beat it. It took me about an hour, I will say. It's pretty complicated. You have to crouch around and look behind everything in the room, because a lot of stuff is pretty self-explanatory. But yeah, after that, you're just going to be like, what the hell am I doing? So yeah, it takes a lot of research, a lot of going around, looking at notes. But yeah, it's really fun. I definitely like it.
Sleep well, darling? Our daughter really likes you. She wants you to be her big brother. Oh, now don't get too excited. Don't jump up and down just yet. You want to be part of this family, you gotta eat like family. That smells good, don't it?
No, I bet it does not.
And you can be one of us. Then I'll take those things off and you can go out and play. But you gotta eat all of it.
Yeah, it gives you a little multiple choice here. I'm not really sure what happens with these bottom two, but I'm going to play nice and just say this top one. Wow. That's what I always choose.
This looks delicious. Really, it looks...
Oh, and if you didn't know, you're playing as Clancy for this, the guy filming in the derelict house footage. That's who you're playing as in this DLC.
You don't need nothing else. Now eat your goddamn supper.
I might. I might need something else. Alright, so now you are tasked with escaping the room. Now the spoon is actually important, and you can use the spoon to eat this stuff, but you will lose health and vomit, so I do not recommend it. Now you want to take this restraint off here. It's fairly simple. Alright, and now you're free to explore. You should always grab the lantern, by the way. Helps with lighting. So you go over here. He sees a snake key on the other side that will come in handy later. Now this I already know the combination to, but I will go through the steps just to show you how to find it. You look in this little vase here. You got a lighter. This is one of the last things you're supposed to find, but I actually found it pretty early on. This is the knife hidden behind the dresser here. This will come in handy for two parts. Two very important parts, and you can actually equip it like a normal knife. Yeah, you want to open this one. You can check this note here, same time as all the other clocks. Now the main game, I think the time was like 3:15, or it had something to do with 10 and 3. So it was either 10:15 or 3:50. It was one of the two. Now this drawer, do not open this one. This one, when you pull it, it'll say a strong pull might open it. If you try it another time, you will yank it almost all the way out, and it'll break, and it won't be able to go back in. And part of this DLC is putting everything back the way it was, and you won't ever be able to put that one back the way it was, so she will come in here and scream at you and damage you. So just don't do it. Just don't pull it open. Now this one, when you go to set the time, that thing falls off. This is actually a lockpick, because it's a broken clock hand, but you can use it as a lockpick. And that's how you get into here. And this will trigger the first of the 3 loud noises that draw her back into the room. So as you'll see, you open it up, you got a little painting here. Yeah. Take it. Bang! The little gong goes off. So now, Clancy's freaking out. And you'll hear footsteps coming. You'll also see a timer, yeah, right there, at the top that tells you how quickly you need to get back into bed. So what you do is make sure you set everything back to the way it was. Stuff in your inventory is fine, but if there's like a drawer open or a painting missing or something like that, you will be attacked. And I think you can only be attacked so many times before you die. And if you do die, it resets the entire game, so do not do that. Now from here, you just wait for Marguerite, and he will strap himself back in. If you don't strap yourself back in, you'll also be attacked, so just keep that in mind. Alright, here she comes. And every time she comes in the room, she checks around.
Now hold on just a minute.
Now you actually can't avoid this part. She always has a reason to come back in the room.
Just my imagination.
So just keep that in mind. She's so damn scary looking.
Come on now, eat up. I made that just for you.
You can actually kill yourself if you eat the food she brings you. I think it's after 3 times that you eat it. Because I thought maybe part of it was you had to eat it a little bit when she came back, and she wouldn't get all crazy. But that is not the case, so just don't even bother eating it. It will kill you. So now you just take the restraint off here. Now one part of this you can't do until she comes back in the second time, because she brings you a new plate of food and a fork, and that's when you can do the rest of the steps. But for right now, you'll notice there are blank spots on the wall here. And this, you see how it says north there? That comes in handy later. We will get to that when it pops up. So yeah, you have a painting in your inventory. This one you can never put back, but she doesn't care, so it doesn't matter. And then you have this painting over here. There's spiders behind it. You do have to get this little corkscrew at some point, but you can't do it while the spiders are there, so I will leave that. I'll show you what happens if you try to grab it. Arachnophobics, look away.
I'm not touching that.
Yeah, it doesn't damage you, though, so you can do it as many times as you want. But yeah, you'll see the little areas where there's dirt behind it, where the paintings used to be. So you'll just put painting A on this one. There we go. Then you'll put painting C on that one. And then you'll put the final painting, painting B, on that one. And the book will flip open, and you'll find a sewing needle. And this thing will bleed very creepily. So now what you want to do, just so you don't forget, just take this painting, take this painting too, take that painting, and then put this painting back where you found it, this circular one. That way, if she notices something's amiss, she will attack you. So just to be safe, and then while you're at it, go ahead and put the other large painting over here. Now this one, the timer for the main game is different than it is in this one. So you want to open this up, look at the time. The time is at 5 o'clock. So you want to go back here, take the sewing needle, use it as the big hand. And then you want to rotate it so you've got the small hand on the 5 and the big hand on the 12. Any Dana. There we go. Now that'll set off a very loud ringing noise, as you can hear. So you want to go ahead and close that back up. And I think I have everything back in place in the room. Alright, the paintings are up, door's closed, this painting's back. Alright, so I am all good. I'm going to put the lantern back on the hook, and I will get back in bed. Now I think you might have to wait the full time. Like you'll see a little timer pop up telling you when she's coming back. You might have to wait the full time even if you lock yourself in, so you will have to do a fair amount of waiting during these steps. Oh, here she comes. This plate of food is way more disgusting than the first one. Actually, if you do eat it the first time, you'll move some of the food out of the way, and there will be a dead rat underneath it. So yeah, just keep that in mind in case you want to accidentally take a bite out of it.
I bet you smell like
No.
heaven.
No, it doesn't.
Especially
Crazy
for
lady.
you. Huh?
It is funny when you go to open it, though.
Has someone been in here?
Yeah, see, she's getting suspicious.
Something ain't right. Oh, just my
Haha.
imagination.
Success! Yeah, if she does catch you getting up, she'll actually bolt you down to the table. But all you need to do is just take the spoon, and you pretty much use it as like a screwdriver, like a flathead screwdriver to unscrew the little bolt. And then you can just get up like normal. You won't have to put the screw back in place. It's just to get that step out of the way. Alright. Now I'm going to grab my fork, which will come in... Oh, that's the stove. I'll grab both of them. Both of those will come in handy. I'm going to open the plate here. Or bowl. You see the cockroaches come piling out. Very disgusting. Every scene of them eating food in this game is just absolutely disgusting. Especially because it usually involves like human meat and cockroaches and spiders and flies going around. Alright, so now you've got that step. Now you'll notice when you move the bed, you'll see a piece of paper that mysteriously shows up, and you read this. And it says, "First, death granted darkness to the man from the west. As the man traveled on, he gave of his flesh to 4 beasts of the earth. And when he arrived in the east, he was charred black with ardent joy." Now this one I was confused as hell, because I spent the entire time putting stuff in here. What I did at first is I put death there, I put like a snake here, and I put a heart here on this one. I thought that was the combination. But this is referring to the paintings that you saw earlier. So you remember how I said this will come in handy? Because it says a man from the west, so you see how it says north here, so that means this area right here is where you'll put the first painting. So I'll go back and gather all the paintings again. You'll notice there are 4 birds here eating flesh. That's part of the puzzle there. Now the first one you'll put here, you'll see this one right there depicts a man whose eyes were stolen by the Reaper. So that's the darkness. That goes to the far left, which is the west. And then this one, you'll see the birds, 4 white crows picking at rotten flesh. That would be the second part. And then the final part is this one where he's covered in flames because he's charred black to a crisp, essentially. So there you go. And the book will open again, but it'll open from a different side. And this was another part that confused me, because it has a little leaf there, which is part of the combination for the lock here. But the part that I didn't realize at first, took me like 20 minutes, the fork and the spoon, I forgot to examine them. So if you look, oh, wrong button. If you look at the fork, let's go ahead and examine it, you'll see a snake. See a snake right there. And then you examine the spoon, and you flip it over to the other side, you got an apple. So it's snake leaf apple, that's the code. So you'll go over here, put that little, nice little code in. Go down to the apple, and voila, you are in. Now this is where the final Marguerite barging up the stairs will come in. Now if you want to read this little note over here, it mentions that Zoe uses a knife. You'll see right here, just pulled it right from behind the dresser. Now this will come in handy for 2 reasons, because if you didn't know where the knife was, it'll tell you that the knife is behind the dresser. The second part is it says all Marguerite did was yell at her some, and then Zoe went and pointed a knife at her. That part will also come in handy, which I didn't realize the first time, and I lost all of my progress. But I will get into that towards the end of the video. Now you take the fork and use that to pry out a little nail here. Go ahead and open this, and you will find some solid fuel. Now this comes in handy for the spiders you saw earlier, which also triggers the third and final her barging into the room. Well, technically it's not the final, but it's the final one where you have to get back in bed. So you take the stove. Before you put it down, you have to combine it. Oh, wrong button. You have to combine it with the solid fuel. Now you put that down, and now the lighter you got earlier from the vase, use that on the stove. Go ahead and fire that up. And you'll see, pops one of the wine bottles, so that makes a very loud noise. You might as well just go ahead and grab the corkscrew while you're at it. Definitely pick up the stove. Do not forget the stove. There we go. Now this one is a, oh shit, I forgot, god, oh, this is bad. I forgot to put these back to where they were. Okay, this could be cutting it close. Alright, put that one back. I need to close the door before I get in bed, too. Oh, the door's already closed, good. Okay, that was a close one. Alright, now I get back in bed, and I lock myself in. How much time do I have left? Whew, alright. Yeah, I definitely cut that one a little too close. Yeah, look how close that was. That was like 3 seconds before she barged in.
Now hold on, just...
Now this should be the final one. I don't think I screwed up yet.
Oh.
Okay, good.
My imagination.
Now she comes in and yells at you for not eating the food. Yeah, both food items, if you try to eat them, you will vomit, and you will die if you do it too many times, so just go ahead and don't do it.
Shove it down your throat.
Yeah, get out of here, you old raggedy bitch. Alright. Now here comes the final one here. Now this one, I got a little confused with, and I killed myself on accident with how the chain of events work here. You don't have to worry about anything for right now, so just go ahead and do what you're going to do. Now you'll notice these hooks are held on by these little corks right here. So you're going to want to take that corkscrew and unscrew them real quick. Take that one out of the wall. You'll grab lantern hook B. Then you'll go back in here. So unscrew this one. And you'll grab lantern hook A. And these will come in handy real quick. Now first, you don't have to do this, but I like to do it anyway because you're going to need this open quickly. I don't know if she gets back up after the next thing that happens, but you'll reveal the snake door down here that needs the snake key. So you want to open this door back up. Now you take these two and combine them together, and that'll make the Medusa head. Now this is why you need the knife. You'll need it for this little lantern here. So you go ahead and cut that open, just like the garage in the main game. Go ahead, open that up, and you put the lantern in here to use it as light. You'll see there is Medusa and a snake. So you want to go here. Now this one is pretty self-explanatory, the iron statuette. So you'll go ahead and rotate this to where it'll fit in. Let's get, there we go. You don't have to get it exactly, but you have to get it pretty close. Yeah, there we go. Now you'll lock that in place. Now you can pick it back up after this, but it's really not important to. But I'll just go ahead and grab it anyway. Now for this one, you'll see that it's like a snake design. This one confused the shit out of me. But I'll show you what it is. I figured it out, and I had like a genius epiphany. You take the fork here, and you see how large it is on here. Everything else is pretty small, but you're starting to see the shape, right? So you go like this, and you fold it like that, and then bam, you get a little snake there. So you lock that in place. And now, the snake cage will open, and you can grab the snake key out of it. Now this is the final step, as you'll see in a second. Grab the snake key. Hear that noise? You'll see her come barging in. Now, while you're in this room, I don't think she'll ever notice you. It's only after you open the door. So I'll go ahead and grab the lantern here, so you can get a better look at her freaking out. Where is she at? Oh, yeah, there she is. Yeah, see, since I already moved the bed, that's another step I won't have to do. But remember, the note that talked about Zoe pulling a knife on Marguerite, what you have to do for this one, if you open the door, she will kill you instantly, and all of your progress will be reset. So what you have to do, switch to the knife, keep it in your hand, and then open the door. And she'll charge you like a maniac. Now with the knife in your hand, wait for it, well, bam! Stab her right in the neck. And since you already moved the bed at this point, all you have to do is just run over there, unlock it. Where are we at? She's writhing around in here. Alright, come on, open up. I've never waited around, so I don't know if she'll be able to kill you or not. But yeah, once that's over, just run down this little hallway here. And there you go. Get a little cutscene here. And yeah, that's how you do it. It's pretty complicated, but once you know it, it's still fun to go through. But yeah, as you can see, there are a lot of steps with no explanation. You'll find like one note here or there. But yeah, you just really have to search around on your own. Now, I will come back and do Nightmare. This is like a horde mode kind of thing with a little bit of a twist on it. And basically, every time you do better, you'll unlock more things, so it becomes easier to survive after that. So you're probably not going to survive the whole thing on your first playthrough. You'll have to keep coming back, because you'll unlock more traps, more guns, more starting scraps, stuff like that. So yeah, that was the bedroom tape. I will be back, I think, on Monday to do Nightmare as well. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you then.